Good morning, everybody. Welcome to, gosh, what do we call this thing? I don't know. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom gameplay footage watch stream. I'm Kyle Hilliard. I'm here with Charles Harte. What's up, Charles?
What's up? I'm gonna call it the I can't believe it's not a direct.
I can't believe it's not a direct. Yeah, so by the way, the footage that's here is just the old trailer that's running right now. Charles, you can see that, right? I have it
Yep.
streaming to you properly. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So we were just discussing how they don't really. By the way, some funky stuff's gonna happen with the browser. I'm pulling up like Twitch chat and stuff like that. But they don't have like a countdown, but clock. They don't have like a count. Oh, I had some echo there for a moment. Usually they have like a countdown place for like where things are happening, but they don't really seem to have that going right now in a weird way.
And even the announcement was it was like very unceremonious, just like Monday morning. Yeah, it's coming tomorrow, and
Yeah.
you'll see it when it does.
Which, I mean, that they do now, right? That's
Yes.
very much their thing of like, which I get because it's like they don't want to mess around with expectations. You know, they're just like, look, there'll be a thing tomorrow. Don't think about it too much. Just show up. You know, and it's like okay, I'm fine. Yeah, Nick Strife couldn't find the link. Maybe they will just upload it and chat. Ola and Durai, I think it will just appear on their YouTube channel. That's what we're thinking too. That it'll just show up. So I have I'll have the page open here. We'll just kind of keep checking back on it, see what we find. It's 4 minutes till air. You excited about this, Charles? I'm very excited about this.
I am. I'm excited and like truthfully have no idea what to expect. I feel like the template set by Breath of the Wild, they could deviate from it so wildly and I would be fine, or they could keep so close to it and I would be fine. Like it's really
Yeah.
I'm just ready.
And are you like a long time Zelda person, or are you a kind of a newcomer? Because there's a lot of people who only played, Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely a long time. I don't know what my technical first one was. I think the first one I played all the way through is I actually got Ocarina of Time on the Wii.
And like
I
virtual
played that.
console?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because
As
so
like
often, Charles, you're a lot younger than me. So often we have these conversations, and you're like, my first Zelda is like the one that released a year ago, and I'm like,
Yeah, my
okay,
first
cool.
Zelda was Spirit Tracks. No,
But that's interesting that you kind of, because if you had a Wii, clearly you had access to Twilight Princess. But you think you played Ocarina first?
Oh yeah, I definitely played Ocarina before Twilight Princess.
Cool.
I played it so early. I kept calling it Ocarnia
Okay.
because I read it wrong. And when Ocarina of Time 3D came out, it's like, yo, they're remaking one of my old favorite games that I played 2 years ago.
Yeah, Ocarina was actually my first. I played on N64. It was one of those like had always been aware of Zelda, had always heard it's good, but that was the first one I sat down and beat. And genuinely, I say this without hyperbole, it changed my life. Like I would not be covering video games or as interested in video games as I am had I not fallen in love with Ocarina of Time in such a big way.
What age was that for you?
12 maybe? Like 11 or
12.
12, something like that? I'd have to think about it. I'm not sure. But yeah, then I went back and played, Link to the Past and Majora's Mask, and I never went so far. I've never beaten the original or the sequel on the NES, which I should make time to do someday. Maybe I should like commit myself to a stream of like, go finally beat those. I've played them, but yeah. And how are we looking at? All right, we're at 1 minute. I'm gonna go refresh the their YouTube channel. Let's see. And I'm still not seeing anything. Did I have the Twitter channel? That's what they call it, right? The Twitter channel.
Yeah, the Twitter channel. You post your Twitter video.
Don't want to get all that audio going yet. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything yet. You see anything on your end, Charles?
No, but I feel it though. I feel it. It's like a drop. When you see like a drop of water hanging off like a drain, like a gutter, and you can see it's gonna drip and splatter. 10 o'clock. We hit it.
That's time, right?
I don't see it.
Where is it, Nintendo? Jeez, you promised us. You promised us, AJ Onuma. What about chat? Are you guys seeing it anywhere? Maybe they forgot. It is early, you know. Oh no, Twitter's not loading for me. That's a good sign.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Okay, here we go. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it'll.
13:48 is the runtime.
Oh, they said about 10 minutes. Okay, all right. Are we ready? I'm gonna click it now.
Let's go.
Here we go. Oh, audio.
Hello, everyone. I'm Eiji Aonuma, producer of the Legend of Zelda series. First, I have some
chat,
news.
please let me know about volume, etc.
Development on The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is now complete. Thank you very much for waiting.
You're welcome.
Many of you are looking forward to this game, and we've released a few trailers so far. Although it'll just be a brief glimpse, I'm going to actually play the game for you all today and show you what it's like.
What if it crashes?
Okay?
This pre-recorded video.
Let's begin.
We decided to keep the crash.
Here we are in the land of Hyrule. Like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, there's a vast world to explore. Of course, it's not just the same world as is. It's changed in many ways. If we talk about all of the changes today, we'll run out of time, so we hope you'll seek them out for yourself when the game launches.
I don't think this area looks familiar.
In this
to me.
game, the vast world of Hyrule reaches high into the sky. You'll notice some land masses
Unless that's
floating
where
up there.
Kakariko is.
We call
maybe?
them Sky Islands.
It looks like the Dueling Peaks.
You're probably wondering something. How do you get to the Sky Islands when they're so high up? If we take a look, oh, something's falling from the sky. Do you see it? I wonder what that is. Let's head over to it.
You know what that is, Onuma.
I love the
We're almost at the
English
spot where the
translation.
object fell. Here it is. Okay, let's use one of Link's new abilities. If you do this on the rock that just fell,
Rewind. Okay.
look, it started rising. This power is known as Recall, which rewinds an object's movement. Since I just used Recall on the fallen rock, I can now rise into the sky. We're a lot closer to the Sky Islands. Let's use the paraglider to reach one of them.
I wonder if that's
There
the,
are
I
a
wonder if
few
that's the
other
only
Sky
way to
Islands
get up
floating
there
here too.
is to on reverse rocks to get up. I mean, you could probably fast
made
travel,
it.
I imagine.
There are lots of ways to reach the Sky Islands, so we hope you'll try a few different methods.
Ask and you shall
heard
receive.
you.
Okay, now we're on a slightly bigger Sky Island. Just like on the surface, there are several man-made structures. Some trees are also growing here. You won't see many of those yellow trees on the surface, though. Let's walk around for a bit. There's a branch on the ground. When you find something like this, you should pick it up. It might come in handy later. Let's continue.
The most basic thing.
I love it so
Oh,
much.
something's there. This is a brand new enemy called a construct. We'll fight it using the branch we just picked up.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Ah, the branch broke. Not good, not good. Quick, get another branch and... we defeated it. Moving on.
Soldier construct horn zonai charge.
We've now explored more of this Sky Island. As expected, fighting with just a branch won't get us very far. Also, this branch is almost broken. So here's another one of Link's new abilities. If we use this branch and the rock over here, and do this, look, we can stick them together. We created a makeshift hammer. This is called Fuse. You can stick objects together to create new weapons with various effects. Let's take on another construct with this fused weapon.
But so weapons
We're
still
dealing
take
with two of them
damage.
at
That was
once,
a big
huh?
question. for everybody, because there's a lot of people who do not like that element of the game.
Oh, we beat one. The weapon's attack has definitely improved.
So you can change it, but I don't know if you can fix it, right?
The other branch
Right.
broke, but
But it
this
looks
weapon
more
has
durable.
much better durability.
Yeah, more durability.
You can do all sorts of things by experimenting with the fuse ability. You can fuse two weapons, for example. If we take this long stick and fuse it with a pitchfork, we can create a weapon with a much longer attack range.
All right. It makes
With
those
this, we don't
junky
have to
weapons
get too
you
close
find
to
maybe
enemies,
more valuable because you can
and we
start
can
fusing them
safely
and
attack
stuff.
from a distance.
That's really that's insane. That's like, is that like
You can
9
also
feet?
fuse arrows with materials in your inventory. For instance, try fusing this leaf to an arrow.
Okay, quick select.
Fuse an ice elemental material to an arrow and
You used to have to go into a menu
you
to
can
get
freeze
that stuff.
faraway enemies.
I noticed it's like up on the D-pad
Very
on
useful.
the left part of the screen.
In addition, let's see. Ah, there's a bird flying around. If you're out hunting, you might feel that aiming with an arrow is too difficult. Apparently, my eyes can't track fast-moving objects as of late, so my shots rarely land.
And it was old.
So, at times like
Sorry,
these, here's an eyeball you can get by defeating monsters. Fuse it to an arrow and... Look, it homed in on the
weird.
target.
Interesting, I like that.
Let's try this on another bird. I'll just fire in that general direction. It's very simple. Depending on what you stick together, the fuse ability could also be beneficial for hunting.
This is big, because that means everything you pick up can
I
be used
fused a
beyond
mushroom
cooking.
to my shield.
You know?
Now, you're probably wondering if this has any use. Well, this mushroom is actually a puff shroom.
Well, it doesn't.
Let's fight an
Is he
enemy
gonna
with this.
shield surf? Or no, he's not.
I blocked with the shield. Okay, there's smoke now. The enemy's lost sight of Link, so... Attack!
Sneak strike.
Even if you struggle with combat, you can take down enemies using similar methods. In the previous game, you'd usually get powerful weapons by defeating strong enemies. But in this game, fusing even the weakest weapon with something else could turn it into a useful weapon. There are even more gameplay options for sticking things together. Let me demonstrate. Some of the Sky Islands
This changes
even
a
have
lot,
rivers.
dude. Fuse, like,
We'll want to
There's
cross
so- there's
this
gotta be
one,
so many
but swimming
combinations. It's
across
crazy.
it, well, the river's too wide for that. We need a boat. Of course, there isn't anything that resembles a boat around here. So,
this is
we'll lift up this log and attach it to a second log.
this is probably the vehicle that we saw in the last trailer,
Let's
right?
do one
There
more.
were fused objects.
We'll bring this over here and
He's
attach
also
a third
picking
log.
up stuff like as if with magnesis.
It's a
but
makeshift
not.
raft.
But it's fused.
This is another new ability called Ultra Hand. Even though the logs are currently attached, they can be detached. Let's
Ultra
modify the
Hand.
shape of the raft. You can always attach things or detach them like this.
It's a Y-wing.
Now, if we put this on the water, it's made of wood, so the buoyancy will keep it afloat. We've made a simplified version of a boat. However, it won't move in its current state, so we'll need something to propel it forward. There's something here. Let's try hitting it. Oh, wind.
Oh,
It's
that's
blowing
cool.
wind. Looks like we found a fan.
It has a battery.
Why don't we try
See that?
attaching it?
Yeah.
We'll attach another one. This should make the boat well balanced.
This is too much for me, man. Like the combinations that you could conceivably create, it's
Okay,
almost like
they're
it's
attached.
intimidating.
All
I
right,
feel like
let's
the
try
game's gonna
moving
be
the
out for a
boat.
week, and someone's gonna be like, "Here's how I built Optimus Prime."
Hey,
and
it
here's
is
the
Of
moving.
course, within hours.
It's sailing pretty
Yeah.
fast.
Not even a
with wind
week.
from the fans. Since we added 2 fans, we should be able to cross the river in no time. All right, we reached the other side.
And we're in the sky for all this, right? With the water.
In the
Yeah.
most recent trailer, we showed scenes of Link riding a large car and a flying machine. Those vehicles actually aren't in the game from the start. Instead, you'll be able to freely craft them on your own. There are all sorts of objects you'll come across in this game. And depending on how you use your imagination, you can do a lot with them. So, try crafting different things and explore this world at your leisure.
Oh no.
There are even more
Scared.
abilities.
It's too
Check
much.
this building over here.
Too many options.
Okay,
We'll
watch
see.
this. Look, I passed right through the ceiling. This new ability is called Ascend. If you're in a place with a ceiling, you can go through
Any ceiling?
to the floor above you.
Or like specific ceilings, you think?
There are some restrictions, but what's great about this ability is that as long as there's a ceiling, you can use it anywhere. For example, this place has a cave with a hill right above it. If we use the ability here, come on, keep going.
That is
Okay.
horrifying. The
We
idea of being
emerged
stuck
at the top
inside
of the
there.
hill.
That is horrifying.
In the previous game, you had to use stamina to climb a mountain. But in this game, if there's a mountain with a cave like this one, you can now get to the top without having to climb all the way up. Here's another example.
That's cool.
Imagine you're stuck in a cage. If it's got a ceiling, you know what to do, right? Exactly.
Exactly.
Oh, there's another construct. It seems to be holding a strange weapon. Some enemies are equipped with fused weapons, so battles will play out a bit differently from the previous game. Ah, it blew me away with wind. Looks like it's got some sort of fan. Ah,
Oh no.
I got pushed off. Oh well, let's just return to the surface. You can quickly descend from the sky to the surface like this.
It never occurred to me
It
that you
feels so
wouldn't be able
good.
to do this, but I'm glad that they're confirming
In
it.
the
'Cause
sky,
that seems like
you'll
you
be
know
able
to
to
be able
look
to
out
just
across
jump
the land.
from the upper area to the lower area
You can also
without
search for
loading. That's
destinations
great.
that pique your interest. Once you've chosen your destination, you can speed things up. Like
Nice.
this.
Put Fortnite in Breath
Let's
of the
dive into this
Wild.
river.
No, they put Skyward Sword back into Breath of
And
the
we're
Wild,
back on the
Charles. Come on.
surface.
Okay.
There are
Skyward
still
Sword
so many
Fortnite.
things I'd like to show you, but let's leave it at that for now. What did you think? Some of Link's new abilities were updated from the previous game. I'm sure some of you watching me play were thinking, wait, if you could do that, then maybe you could do this too. In this game, you can do a lot of things just by thinking about what's even possible. There's still a lot of new gameplay, mysteries, and encounters we couldn't show today, but they're all jam-packed into this unfamiliar Hyrule, and we hope you'll use your imagination to explore it. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.
Man. God. I gotta say, like, they didn't show much, right?
Mhm.
But what they showed, which is very smart on their part, is like, imagine the ramifications of what we just showed you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? They have something else here at the end? Oh, let me turn the volume back up. Damn it. Well, I gotta buy that!
So excited.
You jerks! But this has got to just be an OLED, right? Nothing additionally fancy, I imagine. Looks nice. I'm so mad at them right now. Oh,
Whoa.
but it doesn't come. Oh, and a.
Oh man.
Oh, that's so this console comes out before.
Yeah, yeah.
So console does not include the game. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I have literally held up because I think there was like an image of that leaked.
Oh, really? I missed that. Okay.
It was a like I think like in January or February. But it was a thing where I was like considering getting an OLED Switch because I still have like my base model one, and I'm like I might as well.
Yeah,
but
because it doesn't seem like a new proper model is coming out anytime, right?
Yeah.
So,
but if it's that, that's exactly what I would hold off for. So, that's,
so Charles, what's your takeaway from what we saw? Like, what do you think?
So I think the thing about Breath of the Wild that makes it really special that I think gets overlooked is people are like, oh, it's a really good open world, and it is, and there's all these Zelda things that I think people latch onto, but I think the thing that makes it so great is it's got this like physics engine, and the way all of the tablet powers, the Sheikah Slate powers work in the original is like it makes it feel so interactive in a certain way because you have all these tools to approach every single scenario, and that's what makes it feel so like self-driven of like, oh, I thought to use cryosis to open this gate, oh, I used magnesis or whatever, and I think that is what like really sets it apart for me, and this is like affirming that they are essentially doing that again, and the fact that they were saying like, yeah, what are the ramifications of if you confuse weapons, just all the nonsense that will come from that, and all of the just the stories that will come from like, yeah, I got a long stick and I fused it to another long stick, and that's how I beat the final boss or whatever. It's just so exciting.
Like, the thing about Breath of the Wild is it's I joke, but it's true, is like to this day, what are we, 5 years out from its release? At least at least once a week I see somebody doing something I never thought that you could do in Breath of the Wild, or like just some weird thing, right? Like I learned something, I see every week, 6 years later I'm still seeing stuff. And the idea that like just about every object can be fused to every other object in the game is like, well, there's like an endless combinations that I'm sure was a pain to sort of put together for Nintendo. But honestly, my initial reaction here is genuine intimidation. Like because like it's almost like too open-ended, you know what I mean? Like, what if I don't have the intelligence to build a raft and attach fans to get across a lake? Like, can I still make ice cubes and just get across? I don't, I'm sure you can, but yeah, it's, and that's like, I've got the video running again. The idea that you can fuse every item you find to weapons and stuff is really, that again, similarly intimidating, but like cool in the sense that like stuff that you pick up is now more important beyond like cooking opportunities. Yeah. Because ultimately, I'm sure me and I'm sure a lot of other players too I kind of had like 4 recipes that I made. Ultimately I didn't, but I still picked up everything. But it's like, well, I don't really need these acorns. I don't really cook with acorns, but I have them. But now it's like, well, what happens if you fuse an acorn to a sword? That's cool. I mean, that makes everything that you find potentially have some more value than it did in the past. Which is like, that's the thing that makes exploring so much fun, is like the stuff that you find is valuable,
Yeah. And we were kind of laughing at first. He's like, this is a branch. You might want to pick it up. It'll be useful later. We're like, haha, we've played Breath of the Wild. We know
I'm going to throw that later. Don't worry.
Yeah. And now I'm like genuinely like, dude, I gotta pick up all the branches and fuse them with every item. Like, if there were, I don't know, 50 weapons in Breath of the Wild, and this one there's like thousands just based on the things you can stick to them, I assume.
Jeez, yeah, but it looks like you're so weapons are still going to degrade, which I know is going to be a huge bummer to some people. It was not a big thing for me. It didn't really bother me ultimately.
Yeah.
I saw its purpose. I certainly had weapons that I lost that was kind of a bummer, but like I think it aided, like I said, it aided in exploration. It made things more valuable because it was good to have a cache of weapons and that kind of thing. And so that doesn't bug me too much. Yeah, and then the other confirmation is moving from how to get up into the sky and how to get down are kind of things that they had shown in other trailers that we had assumed. You know, we saw the going through the ceiling thing. We saw the reverse time block. We've seen him jumping down below. But it is nice to have Onuma say, like, yes, you can just jump down to the ground, which is, like, awesome. Love, absolutely adore that. And then to get up there is interesting. Yeah,
and it took him so long to fall was the thing that was, like, I understand it's very high up, but I think, like, seeing the amount of time it took him just kind of like floating in the air, being like, oh, maybe here's where I'll go, or oh, I'll, you know, pencil dive straight down, was like, the scale is still there. That's really cool.
Yeah. Still so excited for this. Like, we still don't know the sort of more, I don't want to say not generic, but like typical Zelda stuff. You know, it seems like there are more dungeons, but I don't really know. But that's all they've shown us here is just like, here's a baseline mechanic that's going to change your whole approach. This is why it's a sequel. This is why it's different. And, like, honestly, I'm kind of convinced, because I think it will change every element of the game in a big way. But
yeah, the one that they showed, like, the least of was the recall skill, where, like, they showed us that first, and now I'm thinking, like, what if you got, you know, a boat and you drove it out into the water? Can you recall it and then go back to land really quick? Like, I don't know what that does or doesn't work. And then can you use that on enemies? That would be fun. I bet you can do the thing where you got a big enemy and he shoots like glowing orbs at you, and you can recall the orbs, and then you send it back and it hits the enemy and then stuns it. That's my big brain prediction for Tears of the Kingdom.
So it says it's called Recall, but I think the on-screen icon calls it Rewind. And functionally, it rewinds. Like, why don't we just call it Rewind?
I think the button, like when you pressed A, it said Recall, but I do think the skill is called Rewind.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Oh, also, like this that we're looking at again here, where he swims through the cave.
Oh
that's like seriously, they could sort of manufacture a genuine horror moment where like Link runs out of magic and gets stuck in a rock. It's like, that's so scary.
I'm looking at that and thinking,
look
like,
at that. See, oh, that's horrifying. That's a horror. That's Resident Evil right there.
You could hide so many secrets and stuff now, though. Like, I'm gonna feel like if I don't jump through, because if I was designing a thing, I would put like a little pocket of space where there's like a treasure chest or something. But you'd have to know to jump up through there.
Yeah, maybe. Gosh, yeah. They can't do too much of that though, because that would just be like, yeah. But okay, yeah. Finally happy to have. Honestly, it was a small look, but it's something big to grasp onto. Of like, this really gives me a good understanding of how this is going to feel different from Breath of the Wild. That fuse ability, that's going to change a lot. I think. And they know that too, obviously. That's why they chose to show us that in detail. Also, I think it gives them a chance to explain it as well, because I bet it's kind of hard to tutorialize. So, yeah. Any other thoughts, Charles?
Oh, well, let's just return to the surface. You can quickly descend from the sky to the surface like this.
Anything really succinct enough. I think it's interesting that Link's appearance in this one, and I don't need to. I could spend, you know, a million hours theorizing about what the story of this one is, but they keep jumping between like Link in his classic blue tunic doing stuff, and then this kind of like, you know, long hair, whatever his like current like sleeveless situation is, and I just think that's interesting. Like I think I was expecting it to be like, this is like a part early in the game, and this is kind of like, I was expecting like minor scene setting of like, this is kind of what's going on here, and we just got the mechanics, which I do like, but I'm still we were just joking about how every time we see a trailer we're like, I still know nothing about this game. And I do still kind of feel like that.
Yeah, I'm pausing as he's flying down because I'm like, this looks different to me. Right? Am I crazy? This does not look like the Hyrule from Breath of the Wild, unless I'm just, and it's been a while. I'm sort of separated from Breath of the Wild, but at this point, I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor. Is that a Borg cube? I don't know if you're a Star Trek guy, Charles, but is that a Borg cube off there in the distance? Or maybe that's one of those mazes, you know?
Oh, a sky maze?
Maybe.
Whoa. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I pick up some landmarks. Like it looks like
Yeah.
Death Mountain to the left. That looks like the Lanayru region right in front of him.
Yeah, so they're probably it's probably you get they tweaked a lot, right? Oh, is this Lon Lon Ranch right here? No, I don't think so. That's just a
I can't tell.
To the
I don't
left.
think it was that close to a river.
yeah.
Let's dive into this river.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, and even if it's just the Breath of the Wild map with the fuse mechanic and the Ultra Hand mechanic and
The sky
all
above,
of the new
yeah.
abilities, it's like that redefines the game, and I know they did more than that. Part of this, honestly, for me, is seeing like the scope of these abilities and being like, that's why it took so long.
Yeah.
Like
They had to
course.
come up with a fuse for every item and with every other item basically.
Yeah.
Do you see this in the top left corner of the screen? There's like L. Is that the ascend button?
I don't know which one that is, but that's where all the different powers
Okay.
go. 'Cause
So
that
when
was the
he's
button
in-
to use
And when he
slate
gets in the
powers.
water, it lights up as though now he can use it. Like when he was falling, it didn't seem to work, and now it's gone again. Also, it looks like it looks like swimming is essentially the same, right? It's not, you can't go underwater or anything.
I was gonna say if it lit up while he was underwater, like I could see like a Iron Boot situation, and then you could use Ascend to come back to the surface.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like the Legend of Zelda.
But
Yes.
that-
This is another area where I'm looking around. I'm like, where are we? Do I know this place? You know?
I do know. So this is those are the Dueling Peaks. This is like one of the first stables you get to. That's off to the left there.
Oh, okay. And so Kakariko's like up there, right? This is where is this that battlefield with all the dead guardians?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
like off to the left. But yeah, I think
Got
this
it.
is roughly.
Reaches high into the sky.
Cool. Man, yeah, I'm excited. Not that I wasn't before. Honestly, not that I'm like extra now. Now I just feel like I have like I have some extra knowledge of like a new core mechanic that's gonna be cool. I need to reach my friend. Is that a side quest? What's that?
Oh.
Let's see. But yeah, anyway, we could pause and sort of look into this more and more. But I'm sure there. Yeah. See who's look at this guy. Who's this guy? I need to reach my friend. Does he give us something? He must give us something. Stables look the same as near as I can tell.
We hadn't seen horses until
children,
now, which that was
dogs.
kind of my crazy theory of like, what if there's no more horses?
They got rid of horses. Oh, cool. Yeah. All right. May 12th. Oh, yeah. When's that Switch console come out? Because that comes out earlier.
April 28th, I believe, which
That's
might
interesting.
be a month from today.
Yeah. And that's just, like we said, that's just got to be, that's just an OLED, I'm sure. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks cool. Looks lovely. Look at that thing. I want to fight that thing. I want to drive that thing. Well, I'm probably not going to drive that thing because whatever I make is going to look a lot different. But cool. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Yeah, excited for Zelda. Can't wait. All right, everybody. Have a good day. Check out GameInformer.com for all kinds of cool stuff. I'm sure Wes already has a story up about this stream already.
He's fast.
See you, everybody. Bye.